Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Sara English. I'm Sarah, and I'm so happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Mike. Thank you for joining us again. Maybe you're relaxing at home, driving to work, walking outside, or enjoying a quiet moment with a cup of coffee.
Wherever you are, we hope this conversation helps you relax while you improve your English naturally.
Today we have a very practical topic because we are going to talk about your tomorrow plans in English.
This is something we use almost every day. We often tell people what we are going to do tomorrow, what we hope to finish, or what we want to remember.
And while we talk, you will hear many useful expressions that native speakers use in real conversations.
Our English will be clear, natural, and comfortable for B1 to B2 learners.
Remember, you do not need to understand every single word. Just relax and enjoy the conversation. Your listening skills will improve little by little.
Before we begin, here is a simple question for you.
Think about this while you listen. What is one important thing you plan to do tomorrow?
Maybe you have an important meeting at work.
Maybe you are planning to study English before breakfast.
Maybe tomorrow is your day off and you want to spend time with your family.
Or maybe your biggest plan is simply to rest because you have been very busy recently.
Every plan is important because every tomorrow becomes part of our future.
That is true. Sometimes people think only about big goals, but our daily plans slowly build the life we want.
Mike, do you usually make plans for tomorrow before you go to bed?
Most of the time, yes. I like ending the day with a simple idea of what tomorrow will look like.
Do you write your plans down?
Sometimes I do. Other times I just think about them for a few minutes before I fall asleep.
I like that habit. It sounds calm instead of stressful.
Exactly. I don't try to plan every minute. I just choose a few important things that I really want to finish.
That makes tomorrow feel less confusing.
Yes, because when I wake up, I already know where to begin.
I think many people have the opposite experience.
You mean they wake up without any clear direction?
Yes, they spend the first hour wondering what they should do first.
And then they become distracted by messages, emails, or social media.
Suddenly, half the morning is gone.
I think we have all experienced that at least once.
Definitely. That is why tomorrow planning can be so useful.
It doesn't need to be complicated. Even 3 simple plans are enough.
Before we continue, let's explain an important grammar point.
Good idea. When we talk about tomorrow, one common structure is be going to.
For example, you can say, I'm going to visit my grandmother tomorrow.
Or we're going to clean the house in the morning.
This structure shows that you already have a plan or an intention.
Another common way is using the present continuous.
Right. You can say, I'm meeting my manager tomorrow afternoon.
Or we're having dinner with our friends tomorrow evening.
Both forms are very natural in everyday English.
Native speakers use them all the time.
Mike, can I ask about your plans for tomorrow?
Of course.
What is one important thing you plan to do tomorrow?
Well, I'm going to wake up around 7 o'clock.
That sounds like a peaceful start.
Then I'm going to make a simple breakfast and enjoy it without looking at my phone.
That is actually harder than it sounds.
I know. My phone always tries to steal my attention.
Mine does too.
After breakfast, I'm meeting a colleague to discuss a small project.
Is it a long meeting?
No, only about an hour. We already know what we want to talk about.
That is nice because short meetings often feel more productive.
I agree. Then I'm going to spend the afternoon working on some writing.
Is that something you enjoy?
Very much. Writing helps me organize my thoughts.
And what about the evening?
Tomorrow evening, I'm going to cook dinner at home.
Are you trying a new recipe?
Maybe. Or maybe I'll cook something easy because I don't want to wash too many dishes afterward.
That sounds very realistic.
What about you, Sarah? What are your tomorrow plans?
Tomorrow is going to be a busy but enjoyable day.
Tell us about it.
First, I'm going to answer some messages from our English learners.
I know everyone enjoys hearing from you.
I always enjoy reading their comments because people write from so many different countries.
It reminds us that English connects people from all over the world.
Exactly. After that, I'm recording part of a new lesson.
Is it another conversation lesson?
Yes, because I think conversations help learners remember vocabulary more naturally.
I completely agree.
Then I'm meeting one of my friends for lunch.
That sounds like a nice balance between work and personal time.
I think balance is very important. If every day is only work, life becomes less enjoyable.
That is true. Even one relaxing conversation with a friend can give you new energy.
After lunch, I'm going to spend some time reading.
What kind of books do you usually read?
Mostly books about communication, learning, and sometimes simple novels that help me relax.
That sounds like a pleasant afternoon.
I hope so. Of course, tomorrow may not go exactly as I imagine.
That is another important point. Plans are helpful, but life can surprise us.
Sometimes unexpected things happen, and we need to change our schedule.
Being flexible is just as important as making plans.
Exactly. A good plan should guide you, not control you.
I really like that idea.
Me too. When we think of tomorrow as an opportunity instead of a problem, planning becomes much more enjoyable.
And that small change in thinking can make a big difference in how we begin each new day.
One thing I really like about planning for tomorrow is that it helps me sleep more peacefully. When I know what I want to do, my mind feels calmer before I go to bed.
I understand that feeling. Sometimes people stay awake because they keep thinking about everything they need to remember.
Exactly. Their thoughts go around and around without stopping.
But when you write a short list or simply think about tomorrow for a few minutes, your brain can finally relax.
That doesn't mean tomorrow will be perfect.
Of course not. There will always be unexpected situations.
Maybe your bus is late.
Maybe your meeting is canceled.
Maybe you wake up feeling more tired than you expected.
Those things happen to everyone, and they are part of normal life.
The important thing is not following every plan perfectly.
The important thing is having a direction.
I really like that word, direction.
Me too. It reminds us that we don't have to know every step before we begin.
Mike, have you ever made a very detailed plan that completely changed the next day?
Oh yes, I remember one Saturday very clearly.
What happened?
I planned to clean my apartment, buy groceries, answer emails, and finish reading a book.
That sounds like a productive day.
It certainly looked productive on paper.
But something changed?
Early in the morning, one of my friends called me.
Was everything okay?
Yes, he invited me to join him for a short hiking trip because the weather was beautiful.
That sounds wonderful.
At first, I said no because I wanted to follow my plan.
Really?
Yes, but after thinking for a few minutes, I realized that spending time with a good friend was also important.
So you changed your plans?
I did. We spent several hours walking through the hills, talking about life, and enjoying nature.
Did you regret changing your schedule?
Not at all. The apartment was still there the next day.
Sometimes memories are more valuable than checked boxes on a list.
Exactly. Planning should improve our lives, not prevent us from enjoying them.
I completely agree.
Sarah, do you ever change your plans at the last minute?
Sometimes I do, especially when my family needs me.
Can you give us an example?
Last month, I planned to spend the whole evening preparing new English lessons.
That sounds familiar.
Then my sister called and asked if I could visit because she wanted someone to talk to.
What could you decide?
I closed my laptop and went to see her.
Was it the right decision?
Absolutely. We talked for hours, laughed together, and enjoyed a simple dinner.
That sounds like a meaningful evening.
The lessons waited until the next day, and everything was fine.
Your story reminds us that people are often more important than schedules.
Yes, good planning includes enough space for real life.
Let's teach our listeners another useful expression.
Great idea. You can say, I'm planning to.
For example, I'm planning to wake up early tomorrow.
Or, I'm planning to finish my report before lunch.
This expression tells people about your intention.
Another useful expression is, I hope to.
For example, I hope to exercise tomorrow morning.
Or, I hope to finish this book tomorrow evening.
Notice that hope to sounds a little softer because you want something to happen, but you know it may change.
Exactly. Life doesn't always follow our plans. We also often hear people say, if everything goes well.
such as, "If everything goes well, I'm going to visit my parents tomorrow."
That expression is useful because it shows flexibility.
Native speakers use it very naturally.
Now let's imagine different people making tomorrow plans.
Good idea. That will help everyone practice.
Imagine a university student.
Tomorrow, she's taking an important exam.
Tonight, she's planning to review her notes for 1 more hour.
Then she's going to sleep early because she wants to feel fresh in the morning.
Her biggest priority isn't studying all night.
It's arriving at the exam with enough energy to think clearly.
Now imagine a father with 2 young children.
Tomorrow, he's taking them to school before going to work.
After work, he's meeting his family for dinner.
Later in the evening, he's planning to help his children with their homework.
His tomorrow is busy, but every activity has a purpose.
Now let's imagine someone learning English.
That's probably many of our listeners.
Tomorrow, they're going to listen to an English podcast while drinking coffee.
They're planning to learn 5 new words.
They're also meeting an online language partner in the evening.
Notice something interesting.
What's that?
None of these plans are very big.
You're right.
They are simple actions.
But simple actions repeated every day create impressive results.
Sometimes people wait for the perfect day before they begin.
They say, "I'll start next Monday."
Or, I'll start next month.
Sometimes they even say, "I'll start next year."
Yes, but tomorrow is usually a much better place to begin.
Tomorrow feels close enough to become real.
Exactly. You don't have to change your whole life tomorrow.
You only need one small improvement.
Maybe tomorrow you'll read 2 pages of an English book.
Maybe you'll practice speaking for 10 minutes.
Maybe you'll learn one useful expression and use it in a conversation.
Small improvements often look unimportant in one day.
But after weeks and months, they become something much bigger.
That's one reason why consistency is so powerful.
Mike, when you think about tomorrow morning, what is the first thing you hope to do?
Before checking my phone, I hope to open the window and take a deep breath.
That sounds peaceful.
It helps me begin the day slowly instead of rushing immediately.
I like that idea because many people begin their mornings with stress.
Even one quiet minute can change your mood.
Tomorrow doesn't have to begin with pressure.
It can begin with intention.
I think that's a wonderful thought.
And once your morning begins well, the rest of your day often becomes easier to manage.
That's why tomorrow is not only about making plans, it's also about creating the kind of day you truly want to live. As we come to the final part of today's conversation, let's spend a few minutes thinking about tomorrow in a simple and positive way.
I like that idea, because tomorrow is something we all have in common. No matter where we live or what we do, we all wake up and begin a new day.
Sometimes tomorrow feels exciting because we have something special to look forward to.
Sometimes it feels ordinary because it looks like every other day.
And sometimes it even feels a little scary because we have a difficult task waiting for us.
All of those feelings are completely normal.
What matters is how we choose to begin.
Sara, if you could give our listeners only one piece of advice about planning tomorrow, what would it be?
I would say, don't try to plan a perfect day. Try to plan a meaningful day.
I really like that difference.
A perfect day probably doesn't exist.
But a meaningful day can happen much more often.
It might include learning something new,
Helping another person,
spending time with your family,
taking care of your health.
or simply giving yourself a quiet moment to think.
Those simple moments often become our favorite memories.
Sara, what advice would you give?
I would tell everyone not to be afraid if tomorrow doesn't go exactly as planned.
Why do you think that's important?
Because many people believe one bad day means they have failed.
But that isn't true at all.
Exactly. One difficult day is only one page, not the whole story.
Tomorrow always gives us another opportunity to continue.
That reminds me of something.
What is it?
A few years ago, I started making very long to-do lists.
Let me guess, you couldn't finish everything.
Not even close.
I think many of our listeners understand that feeling.
At the end of each day, I felt disappointed because several tasks were still unfinished.
So, what changed?
I decided to choose only 3 important tasks each day.
Only 3?
Yes, if I finished those 3, I considered the day successful.
That sounds much more realistic.
Surprisingly, I became more productive because I wasn't feeling overwhelmed anymore.
Sometimes doing less helps us accomplish more.
Exactly.
I have a similar habit now.
Really?
Every evening, I ask myself 3 simple questions.
What are they?
First, what is the most important thing I want to do tomorrow?
That's a great question.
Second, what can wait until another day?
That one is probably difficult for many people.
It is because we often think everything is urgent.
And the third question?
What is one small thing that will make tomorrow more enjoyable?
I love that question because life shouldn't only be about work.
Exactly. Maybe it's reading for 15 minutes,
Or taking a short walk after dinner.
calling an old friend,
Listening to your favorite music.
or enjoying a cup of tea without checking your phone.
Those simple moments help us appreciate everyday life.
Now, let's review some useful vocabulary from today's episode. The first expression is be going to. We use it to talk about plans or intentions.
For example, I'm going to visit my grandparents tomorrow.
Another useful expression is planning to. You can say, I'm planning to finish my project tomorrow afternoon.
We also used the phrase look forward to. This means you feel excited about something in the future.
For example, I'm looking forward to meeting my friends tomorrow.
Another important word is priority.
A priority is something that is more important than other things.
For example, getting enough sleep is my priority tonight.
We also talked about being flexible.
Flexible means you can adapt when situations change.
For example, our plans changed, but we stayed flexible.
Another useful word is schedule.
Your schedule is your plan for the day.
You might say, tomorrow's schedule is quite busy.
Finally, we talked about consistency.
Consistency means doing something regularly over time.
You don't need to study for 5 hours once a month.
Studying for 20 minutes every day is often much more effective.
Before we finish, we'd like to give you a small English challenge.
Take a notebook or open the Notes app on your phone.
Write 3 simple sentences about tomorrow.
Your first sentence can begin with, tomorrow I'm going to.
Your second sentence can begin with, tomorrow I'm planning to.
And your third sentence can begin with, tomorrow I hope to.
Keep your sentences simple, clear, and honest.
You don't need impressive plans.
You only need real plans.
If you practice this every evening, you'll become more comfortable talking about the future in English.
And you'll also build a useful habit for your daily life.
That's one of the wonderful things about learning a language.
It doesn't only improve your English.
It can also improve the way you organize your thoughts and communicate with other people.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, we'd love to hear from you.
Tell us in the comments, I'm your name from your country, and tomorrow I'm going to.
Reading your comments is one of our favorite parts of creating these episodes.
We enjoy seeing learners from different countries encouraging one another.
Every comment is another small step in your English journey.
And remember, don't worry about making mistakes.
Every sentence you write helps you become a more confident English speaker.
Keep practicing a little every day.
Keep believing in your progress, even when it feels slow.
Small daily actions create big results over time.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
We hope this conversation gives you new ideas for tomorrow and more confidence to talk about your future plans in English.
Until next time, take care of yourself, keep learning, and enjoy every new tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to Talk Sara English. We'll see you in our next episode. Goodbye.